Okay, today we're going to talk about the minor swing, the Django Reinhardt. This is the first version that he did. I think it was 1938 or 37. 37. Um, this song is going to be in the key of A minor, and we're going to need A minor and D minor and E7, but we're going to make them better gypsy chords. So I'm going to have A minor 6, which is my second finger on A, skip the fifth string entirely, first finger on the fourth fret on the F sharp, that's what's making it 6, and then a minor triad right here, C, E, and A, all on 5. So it's 2, 1, and then bar the third finger. You could also do it like this, where you're not putting the tippy top string, you're just hitting these two notes in there. If you were Django, you might do it like this. Because remember, Django's only going to use the 2 fingers for the most part. He can use these little fingers for little chord stuff on the top 2 strings, but in fact, we're going to see that where he starts out with that chord. So we need A minor 6 for 2 measures. Then to 10th fret, this becomes a D minor 6 for 2 measures. And if we do it at the 7th fret, it's an E9 with a B in the bass. So it's really B minor 6, or its function as the E7 or the E9 chord here. And we do that for 2 measures. And that takes us back to A minor 6. And that's the first half of the form. That's what I'll refer to as the A section. So A minor 6, 2 measures, D minor 6, 2 measures, E9 with B in the bass, or E in the bass, doesn't matter. And then back to A minor 6. Then the B section goes up to 10, starts on the D minor 6, and back to A minor 6, and then E9. And right here, he's going to throw in a B flat 7. A lot of players don't put this in there if they're playing the song, but he plays E9 and then straight to like a B flat 7. Which I'm going to do with my second finger. I'm going to go 2, X on the 5th string, so 6th fret, and then 6th fret with my 3rd finger, and then pinky on the 7th fret. And I'm just going to skip these top strings, and I'll use my first finger to block out any open strings. And just for one measure, it's going to substitute a measure of E9 with its tritone substitute. We'll talk about that in just a second. B flat 7 and then A minor 6 for 2 measures. So it's going to start with 2 measures of A minor 6. It's going to end with 2 measures of A minor 6. Although you can put in what I'll call the Django turnaround, just to feel like there's a new chorus coming up. Because sometimes they put like a quick E7 here at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. But you could put little passing chords, and then you're on the 5 chord, which would take you gently down the string to A minor. So those are the chords. Let's talk about a couple of options here. On this E9, that's an F sharp. That's what's making this 9. Sometimes he plays an F natural. So you can take like a diminished arpeggio starting on the F, or actually start on the E, but goes diminished once you get to the F, and you go 1, 4, 1, 4. I'm going on every fret, and I'm going what I call caddy corner, diagonal, and then 2 frets here because of the tuning discrepancy, and then you can just slide all the way up to E, right? Or you could start, instead of starting on G sharp, since these are all minor thirds, you could start on, instead of starting on F, you could start on G sharp and do the same pattern, or B, or D. The only one that you don't start on is E. So if you start on the E note, then you move up a half step, and then you can go to the diminished. Because there's no such thing as a diminished chord, they're really just dominant chords in disguise. If I took an E7, which is called a hole in the middle chord, here in the 7th position, and I find my E note and I get it eaten by a shark, that's diminished. So that's one way to treat this E9, is he might play diminished arpeggios. That being said, he could play it like it's a normal E9. But there's also another chord, like I said, there's a B flat 7 towards the end of the song. Instead of doing E7 for 2 measures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and he's going to back to A minor. He's going to go E7, 2, 3, 4, B flat 7. It's just a darker way to get to A. You could just say that gravity did it. Or you could say the tritone substitute did it if you want to be a nerd, which I do. They share the same. If this is E7, this is my 3rd, and this is my 7th. Well, on B flat, I'm just going to figure it like this for now. This is my 7th, and this is my 3rd. So it's the same 2 notes. So what's going to be weird about this is sometimes when he's playing, the band is playing E9, he plays the B flat 7 idea. And sometimes when the band's playing B flat 7, he plays an E9 idea. Or maybe a diminished idea. So we'll come across those when we see them. It is going to, and I'm working in conjunction with this Sound Slice transcription, which is a pretty cool transcription, but I'm going to disagree with some notes, so I'm going to take you through that, what measures I disagree with here. And starting with the very first chord, they have something that looks like a B flat 9 chord, or it's an E7 flat 9 sharp 5 altered. They've got this, but it's just this E9 chord, right? Remember how to make the E9 chord, or B minor 6, with a pinky on top, the old blues note, or from the minor scale, right? And to start with the upstroke, 1. And on the last one, you let that off. So they've got like this, but that's not the right chord. Right, and then A minor 6. Now I'm probably gonna finger it with 1 and 3 and pinky. I just like that fingering better than like that, but Django would have had to finger it like this. Now here's my A, and he's gonna do this dance around this A note, starting with a B note and pull off and insta slide, or not insta slide, but immediately slide to the G sharp. Sorry. And it starts on upbeat, 1. So it's just getting here, and you've got a half step below, and you've got some scale tone, diatonic from above, chromatic from below. And then there's a D minor arpeggio you could do right here, and then the B note. And that would make a D minor 6 arpeggio. We're on the D minor chord here. But he couldn't finger it that way because he only had the 2 fingers. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna put the F here. So this is 5th fret, 6th fret. Come down with your first finger to the D here, and then you can put the B here. So this makes a great D minor 7 flat 5. It is a D minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. D minor 6 arpeggio. It's a B minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. Those are the same things. D minor is really just a D minor 6 is a B minor 7 flat 5, or you can think of this as G9. This makes a great G leg. Yeah, but not in today's lesson. So the whole thing together, 1. Right. Now it's time to get, well, we're still on D minor technically. So here's this F note. Now I put this note here at 6th fret on the 2nd string. They have it listed on the 3rd string on the 10th fret. It really doesn't matter. It's just the way I played this song for years. I'm gonna put it there, and I'm gonna slide into D, and then there's a 10, 8, 7, 10, 9, and a little triplet here. Now, Django fingering wise, we can only use these 2 fingers. If I start with 1 here, slide in with 2, 1 on the 8th, 7th, 3rd finger on 10, and here's a doyat, or a hammer-on pull-off, between 9 and 10. And then the F note is 10 here on the 3rd string, and then 7th fret, and then close out on 9 on the 4th string. Remember we were talking about that E7 chord, what I call the hole in the middle chord. You see, and this is also, there's a diminished arpeggio in here. Sorry, right there. With the Django fingering, just those are the 2 fingers. The next lick has a little bit of an issue with it. He's going to be playing over that. He's going to be thinking the B flat 7, even though the rest of the band's playing E7. He's going to start with 6, 8. On here, it's got 6, 9 listed. So they're just doing a diminished chord here. I should do that different finger. But we're gonna play 6th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret. And I'm gonna finger it 1, 2, 1, 2. 4th string, whole step. Then on the 3rd string, minor 3rd. Right, and I'm doing that with the Django fingering. You might start with an up, down, down, up. So you can sort of sweep this. Because there's gonna be triplet. Triple-it tap, bucket of fish. So he did a lot of double downs. I don't do the gypsy picking so much. I'm gonna go up, down, 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 and then doyat. And so if you're doing 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, I'm all the way up in 9th position. I'm gonna do a doyat from the 9th fret, and then second finger on C, and then I'm gonna slide this down with a glissando. Da 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 Right. And that takes us through the first 8 bars. So. And glissando that. Cool. Moving on to the next section, which starts on the D minor chord. So far, the very first chord, I saw there was a mistake, and then in measure 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm seeing a mistake, that it should be 8 right there. It should be B flat. It's just one little note, and it happens fast. All right, now we're getting ready to go into the D minor chord. He's going to walk up this A minor scale until he gets to the D note. Maybe, now I do it with 3 fingers. He's going to do it like, 1, 2, 2. You can just use that same finger. And then I'm going to sort of hustle back down here. So now get back into the 5th position. Sorry. 4. So he's doing that approach to the D note. Into the A note, sorry. So 4, 7, 5, 6, 5. Now I'm gonna, he does it this way too. 7, 5, 4. Just slide that first finger down and then take your second finger on the 2nd string. Give it a little half step bend and then come back with 1 stacked right on the 5th fret. And then he would do it with the 2nd finger here and play the A, which is the root on the 4th string, 7th fret, and then the E. So it's just right down like a A minor arpeggio. And then right up the A minor arpeggio. Scale on top. So. Now it takes us to the E9 chord, and this time he does play an E9. So all that's right, and then I'm gonna do. So from this E9, we're starting on the B note. And what's a little weird about this is the chords, though, are wrong. They've got a B flat 7 and then E7, and it really should be more like E7 to B7, B flat 7. But the fingering's right, or the notation's right on this. And that takes us through the whole first chorus. So, sorry. Cool. And into the second chorus, it's going to start more out of this A minor. If we got a diagonal A minor right here. Starting on the 12th fret, top string. All right, let me scroll down here and make sure that this is all right. So, starts a little bit before the downbeat. Let me go ahead and play this here for you. That's what it is. So it's 1, da. Then you add the note. So it's just this E note twice. 1 and 2, 3, 4 on the 12th fret, and then hit that note again. 1, and now we add in the 2, or the B note here, the 9. Now I'm gonna add in that note after the first 2 by itself. I'm gonna add in that note every time. Sometimes he just has 13, 12, 13, 12, 13, 12, but I kind of hear that note under my breath there the whole time. Let's listen to that again. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's just a 12, 13, 12, 13. And now we're on the D minor chord, and he's gonna do one of those. Such a Django lick. And that's the Django fingering. So once again, starting a half step below my target tone, which is D, and then above it, scale above, chromatic for below, scale above, and then D minor. Sorry, don't add that. That's, he just throws that note in there, but not on this leg. And then rake it and come back to that 9. So all one sort of fluid motion, and then upstroke for the last note. So it's 1, downbeat. Now, I'm not going to necessarily finger all this stuff like Django. I'm going to do more of a 3 finger and every once in a while a pinky. So I would do 3, right? Cool. Now, the next part, we are in measure 24. There is a little bit... Oh, I didn't come out of that, did I? Sorry. So from that rake, I'm going to disagree with the fingering there. He puts it back down here. Down here on the same top string, I'm going to go to the second string and play from the rake, 10 on the top string, now 13, this is all on the second string, 13, 12, 10, 9, and back to 12. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and then, so the notes are right, but I would put that on the second string instead of the first string. You can put that wherever you want to. The next one does have a couple of wrong notes. I'm going to play an F, D, and then go to a B note, and here's another glissando from B to G sharp. So there's a couple of rests here where actually I hear some other notes. So I'm going to do F, D, and then to the B note at the set. So this is 10th fret, 3rd string, 12th fret, 4th string, 9th fret, 4th string, and then glissando. We play a triplet, bucket of fish, white, just bucket of fish, but just slide each note. Da ba da da. And then we're gonna ride up a little diminished arpeggio. Remember that counter, those minor thirds, going caddy corner. And then to the E notes, which is 9, 10, 7, 10. So here's a G sharp diminished, or it's really E7 flat 9. And then here's an A minor arpeggio descending. Speaking of, so now because he's returned back to the A minor, so it just makes the changes perfectly. Now speaking of A minor, here is an A minor arpeggio, the Django style. 1 on the A, 7th fret, 2nd finger, make sure it's the 2nd finger on the 10th fret, 3rd string on the 9th fret, and then get to the A here. And now sometimes he does it here. This is a very effective A minor arpeggio, but you could do it 2 fingers. So that is 4th string, 7, 10, and then the next string, 9, and then the next string, 10, and the next string, 8. But in this particular instance, I'm going on the 2nd string. I'm going to take that up to C here. So I'm just going to use the same finger. 2. So I'm going to slide all the way up to 13 and pick at the same time, and then hit the 1. I'm going to use pinky. You don't have to. And then come back to an F note, and then immediately to B. And those are going to be triplet. Those are going to be quarter note triplets right there. And the F and B, well, that just really outlines D minor 6. That's the flat 3rd, and that's the 6. So 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and triplet B. Now he would have had to just hustle that first finger over there and use that twice, but I'm not going to because I've got 4 fingers at my disposal. Now we're on the D minor chord, and here's that sort of that same arpeggio we were just talking about, but on a D minor this time. If I start on the D here with 1, F is 2, 12, 12. Now same string. This is the 4th string, 2nd finger, and then 2, And I'm going to stay in position on this time. 15, 13, and I can use pinky or not. This is how he'd play a minor arpeggio. Or you could take that note up there, but that's getting too high. I'm not going to do that. He's going to come down this way. 17, 13, 15 on the second string, and then third string, 14, and then we're going to surround this, and there's a little bit of, this is wrong in the tablature too here. So this is from 15, 13, 14. I'm going to surround this E note. So getting back to the A minor here. So it's D minor, A minor, and he lands on the A note. So let's put that whole thing together with a nice slow tempo. By the way, the original recording is a little sharp to us, isn't it? So you'd have to, technically you should turn up your, tune up your guitar a little bit better, or find pitch correction software. I'm not going to do that right now. And I'm at 70% of the tempo, just to make it a little slower. And now that we're on to the next section. So there's, I've got a different fingering here for that last lick. I used to do the lick that way too, but now I do it this way. 13. And there was a couple other mistakes. It was on different fret here. And then this is totally different. Other than that, I think it's all pretty good. Oh, then it's going to take basically a chromatic scale from E to A, skipping the A sharp or the B flat here. But you can hit each note twice, and then down to G sharp. And then we switch strings to the second string, hit the F twice at 6, and then E once. And then E and E flat, A, and then go to the A. So it's just each note twice, and it's almost a total chromatic scale without the B flat, and then this isn't totally chromatic either. So from the G sharp, we're going to switch to F here on the 6th fret, and hit the E once, down and back up, and then an A minor triad here with 2 fingers, or that fingering. The only trick to this is it starts on an upbeat 1. Oh, did I do that at the end? I don't know. I just woke up, man. It just ends right there on that A. And I disagree with the fingering here. I'm going to take this all on one string, and he sort of does 3 strings for this lick. All on one string except for the end. So I've got all my fingers, so I'm going to go 3. I'm going to go 3 notes at a time. And then shift. Now shift with 2, because I only need 2 notes here. And now my 3's here. And then slide into the E, and then hit the A note. Actually, there's just one A note there. Now, obviously, if you had 2 fingers to use, you just have to switch. In groupings of 2. But what makes that lick sort of work is that it's on the upbeat. If it were on the downbeat, that'd be kind of a little lame lick. And that should be through the first 2 choruses. Let's skip that lick. Let's do the whole thing from the beginning. And this is, like I said, 70% of the tempo. Let me set the little sliders. I'm going to miss the first beat because it's going to start right on it. So I'll get my chord ready. All right. 1. I'm so sorry. We're going to start one more time. And that's the first 2 courses. I'll do the next 2 courses in the next video.